Hey, I'm back. Yeah, so I've been gone for a little while. I've just been taking a small break because, just heaps of shit. We recently just had PAX just like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. That's not really recent, but whatever. Yeah, I've just been taking a small break, but yeah, we're back onto the saddle, the horse. I guess that's kind of the saying. There's a tiny bit of news over the past couple of days. One of the reasons why I haven't uploaded for the past like 2 weeks has been practically no news, like in the slightest. So I just thought I'd quickly run through some of the new stuff that recently just happened and all that shit. And. So all of this actually happened today. Well, this was yesterday, but So, first thing is Take Two has sold its private division to an undisclosed buyer. Take Two also, yeah, okay, that's. So Take Two, company behind 2K, Rockstar, yeah, your GTA and all that stuff. Pretty much just sold their private division. If you didn't know, private division is, look, I'll just be right back. I just gotta go look it up. Fuck. Okay, yeah, so this is the official Wikipedia for Private Division. So, Private Division is an American video game publisher based in New York City. The company was founded by Take Two Interactive and announced in December of 2017. Private Division funds and publishes indie games developed by small to mid-sized studios. This includes taking over Kibble Space Program, publishing and releasing titles from Obsidian. They did Outer Worlds for Obsidian, I believe, before Microsoft bought them out. They did games from just lots of studios and V1 Interactive, in addition to the offers within Take Two headquarters in New York City. Private Division also has offices in Seattle, Las Vegas, and Manchester, most popular city as Germany. Private Division was Take Two's Interactive's third publishing label, following Rockstar and Take Two. Take Two divided itself from Private Division to an undisclosed buyer in November of 2024, which is what we're actually talking about now. So, yeah, they were founded back in 2017 by Take Two, and then now Take Two's went, we don't want you, we're getting rid of you, and they've sold them to someone. We have no clue who. It could be an independent. It could be. I don't have my money on anyone specifically, but it's very interesting news. It comes from Bloomberg. So, and obviously, there's the original tweet, so go check him out. But yeah, and then going on to the other bit of news, which I did show just before, a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy is now in production and a very big priority. Game is planned to going storyline with the upcoming Harry Potter HBO series, according to Warner Bros. Games president David Haddad. I butchered that, but yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy 2 is happening. I didn't mind the first one. I played it a little bit. My dad 100%ed it. He really liked it. There's a couple things I do hope they do differently with the sequel. Um, like instead of starting from like year 12, I feel like it would be cool to start a little earlier, or maybe even just later, where it's like you get to make. There's a couple of things I would have preferred them to do, but that could be a whole nother video. So it probably will, maybe in the future. And it seems like it's going to be. It's going to line up with the Harry Potter TV show, which is even more interesting. So that if it's leaning up to be more like HBO's Harry Potter TV show, I would suspect it's probably set 100 years in the future, because if you didn't know, Hogwarts Legacy, if you never played the game, is set in the past, in the 1800s, I believe it is. So seemingly, it seems like this sequel is going to be set around the same time Harry and that and Voldemort and all that Harry Potter stuff happens. I'm not really a big Harry Potter guy. And then going on to the final bit of news, and then I don't know, it's just going to end it, I guess. Um, it's officially reported that Kashima Productions has pretty much acquired the Death Stranding IP. There's very little news on it. It's now available on Xbox. But here's what he had to say. Here's what's said. Death Stranding gets a stealth drop on Xbox Series X and S, published by 505. So 505, if you didn't know, has published the PC version of Death Stranding. So PlayStation was originally the publisher for console. Again, we don't know what's really happening right now. Granted, it's been 5 years, but it makes you wonder if Death Stranding 2 might eventually come to Xbox 2. And it's being reported Kashima Productions now owns the IP instead of Sony. So originally, From the looks of it, Sony owned a certain amount of the IP. Kojima Productions owned a certain amount of the IP. Sony owned the console publishing rights. Kojima owned the PC publishing rights, and then got 505 to publish it on PC. Sony's clearly sold whatever ownership they had of the IP to Kojima. We don't know why. We Kojima probably just wanted the IP. Sony just sold it. Sony sold many IPs in the past, but you know, in recent years they haven't really. So it's very interesting they would make this decision. But I guess it's probably the type of decision where Hideo Kojima said, "We're not going to make any more games if you don't sell it to us." It's a possibility, but who really knows the reason? None of us know the real reason why. What this means is Death Stranding 1 is on Xbox right now. It's actually discounted, so if you want to go buy it, you're an Xbox guy, go buy it, I guess, you know. So it's very interesting that it has come to Xbox and it has been sold. Again, it's very unlike Sony of recent years to sell IPs, especially one as big as the Death Stranding IP. So it's weird and interesting that they've sold it. We don't know the reason why, but what we do know is it's coming to Xbox. Kojima's the official owner of Death Stranding IP. So yeah, and we don't know what this means for Death Stranding 2. I suspect Sony wouldn't have sold it without knowing Death Stranding 2 is going to be exclusive for at least a certain period of time. So I suspect we'll still see Death Stranding 2 be exclusive to PlayStation for a certain period of time. Probably a year and a half to maybe 2 years, but after that point, I could definitely see it coming to Xbox. I'm taking the assumption again, Sony will probably still publish the console version. I suspect of the second one. It could be a Predator Hunting Grounds situation, because if you didn't know, Predator Hunting Grounds was actually published on console by PlayStation, and then quite a number of years later, it got republished. It's recently just been published on Xbox. I forgot who published it, but it was not PlayStation. So who knows what's going on? I don't fully understand what's happening and what it means for the sequel, but I suspect what it means for the sequel is we'll still see it exclusive to PlayStation, but probably just for a certain period of time. But it's very interesting, and it makes me wonder what's the go ahead for a lot of their other IPs. We're not talking about in-house IPs. When I say other IPs, I'm more of talking about IPs like Cellular Blade, Helldivers, kind of, but I suspect this is a suspicion. Even though it seems like PlayStation or Sony Interactive has really put a stamp down on acquisitions, especially how bad the Bungie acquisition has been recently, I have a suspicion Arrowhead's probably going to get acquired in the next couple of years or in the next couple of months. I think there's a real possibility we see early next year the acquisition of Arrowhead. I think Sony's very confident in the studio, but I could see the Cellular Blade IP, Stellar Blade IP getting sold to Sony. Oh, sorry, getting sold to the studio Shift Up. Because if you didn't know, seemingly Sony and Shift Up have a very similar relationship and IP ownership when it comes to the Death Stranding IP with Hideo Kojima and all that stuff, or Kojima Productions. So I think it's a real possibility we see that the Stellar Blade IP being sold to Shift Up completely, not unless Sony decides to acquire them, but they're already owned 20% by Tencent. So I suspect we'll see Shift Up grab the money and purchase back the Stellar Blade IP. This isn't anything, like, I'm not a leaker, I'm not leaking anything, nothing like that. It's just a theory I have. So yeah, it's very interesting. Again, we don't know the full details, but I guess if you want to play Death Stranding, it's now on Xbox. It's discounted 50%. But yeah, I'll keep you updated as more information comes out about the Death Stranding stuff. But yeah, it's a very interesting revelation, and I really do wonder what made Sony push to sell the IP to Hideo Kojima Productions, you know. But yeah, when it comes to Arrowhead and stuff, I do suspect we'll see Arrowhead get acquired by Sony, even though Sony did just recently lay off quite a couple of people or quite a couple of studios or shut them down. I have a good suspicion we'll see Arrowhead be acquired early next year, but that's just a suspicion, that's just a guess. That's what I think. What I think isn't law, it doesn't matter. It's just, it is what it is. So it's very interesting. I'll keep you up as more information comes out about all of this stuff. And I'm very, very interested to see who the undisclosed buyer is. Some are saying Sony, some are saying Microsoft. I suspect it's probably a private company they don't have a big name or anything. Yeah, maybe a company that wants to invest into gaming. I truly don't know. But yeah, all this is very interesting news. It's very cool. And I guess I'll keep you updated as more information comes out. And yeah, this is a very interesting revelation. But yeah, all good. I hope you enjoy it. And I've also got a Twitch that I'll link. Not link down there. Link in the bio because yeah, I do stream sometimes on there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop shouting shit out. So yeah, all good. Bye.